going to get tea. It's Stephanie White. She has had enough of what she has seen from the officials here today. Understandable frustration from Stephanie White.
Couple of possessions in a row where Leah Boston got the fouls. I thought the first one should have been on Howard. And then here, as Petty's in there, Tillman kind of tosses her to the side a little bit, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back there.
What's worse, starting the playoffs with half your team missing? Or watching the refs tilt the game in the biggest moment of your season? That was Indiana's nightmare against Atlanta. You could see the frustration boiling over until Coach Stephanie White snapped, earning a technical for saying exactly what fans at home were already screaming. Injuries plus questionable officiating, that's a brutal combo. But was it just bad luck? Or something that felt like sabotage? Stick around, because Game 1 has fans raging, players fuming, and the league buzzing about whether the Fever got robbed. Do you think they did? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
Players they have. So Caitlin Clark, Chloe Bibby right there on the bench. But then you have Sophie Cunningham, Sid Colson, Ari McDonald, all actually having to sit separate from the bench. You also have Damiris Duntes.
Imagine stepping into the playoffs missing 6 rotation players before the first whistle. That's not bad luck, that's a curse. Caitlin Clark's groin injury had already ended her season. Chloe Bibby, Sophie Cunningham, and Sydney Carlson all sidelined with knee issues. Ari McDonald's foot kept her out. And less than 24 hours before tip-off, Damiris Duntes got slapped with concussion protocol. That's 6 key pieces gone. 6. Meanwhile, Atlanta rolled and fully loaded. The Fever, they had no choice but to lace up and fight with whoever was left.
Got the injured reserves here with you guys, which last month, they just weren't able to travel. What does that mean to you specifically, just having them there?
Yeah, I was super excited. I think just looking at the injured squad in itself, they just have a lot of knowledge. And so for us, just being able to listen to them, taking what they see, because obviously just them watching is going to be a different view than us on that court. And so super, super happy to have them with us.
Tell me how that's fair to the players or the fans. Indiana clawed their way to the 6th seed by battling through a season full of injuries, grinding out wins with lineups patched together like a jigsaw puzzle missing half the pieces. And just when you'd think the playoffs would offer a clean slate, they rolled into Atlanta with more names on the injury report than some teams carry on their bench.
Obviously, the injured players, they haven't been able to travel, some of them, but most of them are here now. Just how do they help kind of from a culture-wise and with, just bringing some perspective to you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we miss them every day on the court. So to be able to have them we had our plane, front of our plane, normally we have empty seats. It was filled on the way here. So, I mean, they bring energy, they bring light, they bring their vocal leaders, all of them. So to have them on this trip is huge. And I don't know how we're going to fit everyone on the bench. It's not that long. It's been packed recently. So I'm excited to see how we figure that out, but it'll be great to have them back with us.
And that bench, it was a wild sight. The Fever made sure the entire squad traveled healthy or not. 16 players deep. It screamed unity, but it also exposed just how absurd their situation was. There weren't even enough seats. Injured players in street clothes had to sit behind the actual bench, like standby passengers waiting for a flight. When you can't even fit your whole team on the sideline, you know you've hit the injury lottery.
They're finally able to travel from a medical standpoint as well. So, I think having the whole group here, having those guys here gives us a little bit of a boost emotionally. And then having their perspective. I mean, you're talking about 3 point guards that are sitting on the sideline that can talk to our team in huddles, that can talk to our team, throughout the course of dead balls or when they come on and off the floor.
Here's the context. Other playoff teams had luxury reliable second options, strong rotations, depth to lean on when stars got tired or foul trouble hit. Indiana, they had duct tape, grit, and prayer. And somehow, with all that stacked against them, they made the postseason 2 years in a row. That alone is proof of resilience.
Come on, guys. This is my new team, the medical staff. Oh, yeah.
Sophie Cunningham said it best without even trying. Sitting out with her knee injury, she joked she was basically part of the medical staff now. Funny, but painfully true. A starter turned cheerleader, cracking jokes to keep spirits alive while knowing she should be dropping shots on the floor. That's Indiana in a nutshell, finding ways to laugh through pain. And crazy enough, even with all those injuries, the Fever came out in Game 1 swinging. They punched Atlanta in the mouth early and built a lead like they didn't even notice. They were short-handed. But of course, the refs had other plans.
what the referees did, and I know why Stephanie White got a technical foul. Any coach that had to watch their team work so hard all season long, played through every single injuries, and the reason why they had so many injuries is because of these referees.
Playoff games always swing, but nothing kills momentum faster than bad whistles. Indiana came out blazing, jumping to a 15-6 lead. Kelsey Mitchell was scorching hot. Aliyah Boston owning the glass. For a few minutes, the impossible looked possible, a broken roster toppling a fully loaded dream squad. And then, the officiating sucked the life right out of it.
Ryan Howard just falls down, but it's a foul. Like, this is ridiculous. Look at this. Kelsey Mitchell. They don't even let the Fever play defense because she's associated with Caitlin Clark. Look at this one. Another foul where nobody touched him. So they lost the timeout and they lost their challenges for the game because the referees can't do their job.
Their rhythm shattered. Defensive stops that should have turned into fast breaks got flipped into free throws. Clean contests whistled as fouls. Mitchell fought through screens. Lexi Hull locked in on defense. And yet the whistle kept favoring Atlanta. And it wasn't once. It happened again and again until all the energy Indiana had built was drained.
The referees took it over. Look at this. Everybody saw this. Lexi Hall didn't touch her, but they had to waste their first challenge on this play. Here we go. Look at this. She gets elbowed in the face, and they call a foul on Brianna Turner. And then Lexi Hall turns around to go back on defense, but she gets charged for a foul, and they wanted to upgrade it, reviewed it.
Lexi Hull got hit the hardest. She got tagged with a foul on Ryan Howard despite playing picture-perfect defense. Coach Stephanie White challenged it, and replay confirmed what fans already knew: no foul. She won the challenge but had to burn one in the first quarter. White later admitted it was infuriating. She was right, she won both of her challenges by the second quarter. That's how bad the calls were. But with no more challenges left, the Fever were forced to live with whatever the refs decided.
Look at this. Boston gets elbowed in the face by Brittany Griner. Do you think they called it? No. And look at this. Lexi Hall did not touch her. Didn't even touch her. And she gets free throws. Here we go. Kelsey Mitchell touched her hip lightly.
Meanwhile, Atlanta played physical with zero punishment. Brianna Jones threw an elbow into Brianna Turner. Brittany Griner shoved Boston under the rim. Nothing. The double standard was brutal. When Indiana made contact, whistle. When Atlanta did it, play on. That's not just scoreboard stuff. That eats away at your focus, your rhythm, your belief.
Lexi Hall gets thrown out of bounds. No foul, right? Remember that play, okay? Boston, foul. But look at this. So she goes for the ball, and then they call a foul on Lexi Hall. Look at, she says, wow.
By the fourth quarter, frustration boiled over. Stephanie White snapped after a no call on Ryan Howard yanking Shea Petty. The ref slapped her with a technical, but really, she just said out loud what every Indiana fan had been yelling at their screen all night.
Well, actually, talk about the physicality of this game and knowing it's the playoff, playing in such a physical game like today.
Yeah, I mean, I think we knew coming in it's playoffs, it's going to be physical, and we're going to have to learn how to play with that, especially this team is inherently a physical team. So for us, knowing that's the case and being able to respond, I think there's things that we're able to watch and film on how to handle that better, not letting the refs determine, how that physically is impacting us, but just continuing to play through that. It's definitely something we're going to have to work on and watch film and get better at, but that's part of playoffs, and that's part of the thing that we're going to have to get better at moving forward in the series.
And then Odyssey Sims got tagged, diving for a loose ball, pure hustle yet punished. The arena turned chaotic. The Fever bench looked rattled. Caitlin Clark, injured but present, even had to step in to calm her head coach. Imagine that your sophomore star on crutches holding back your coach from going off. Atlanta fed on the chaos, built a run, and never looked back. After the game, the conversation wasn't about how Indiana played, it was about the officiating. Fans left wondering, did the Fever lose to the Dream or to the refs?
They didn't stop either. You'd think after 20 of them, look at this. So that's a foul, right? But watch when the Fever do it 2 times in a row, same exact thing. But it's not a foul when the Fever drive. Look at this. It's not a foul when the Fever get hit in the air, but the Dream get free throws. Same exact plays. Look at this one. What are you supposed to do? Just roll out the red carpet and give them a layup? She is not fouling her. They give her a 3-point play for putting your hands up.
But here's the heart of the story. With everything stacked against them, how do you define success? Scoreboard or effort? Kelsey Mitchell answered that. She dropped 27 points, a playoff career high, while shooting nearly 50% and knocking down free throws like clockwork. For assists, a block, and constant energy. Every time the offense sputtered, she sparked it back. She was relentless, and she kept Indiana alive longer than anyone thought possible.